been cheating on me?
No. You're cheating on me, you goof.
Wait, what?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I finally got around to watching Palm Springs the other day, and I'm really glad I did. I've heard a lot about this one and had some high expectations for it going in.
It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about.
This isn't your typical time loop movie. It's so much better and was one of the best feel-good movies I've watched in a while. During the first few minutes of the movie, I was wondering when the story would actually begin. But what first looks like our character's first time through these situations is off just a bit. And I quickly learned that things weren't as they seemed before realizing that he's clearly done this before. We don't get to see how this story originally started, but get thrown in only when things finally start to get interesting. There's no time wasted on characters figuring out what's going on or wondering why this thing is happening to them. Our characters are thrown into a situation and we get to watch them as they genuinely try to live through it. And when those questions of why and how are finally posed, they were answered not only quickly but in a way that moves the story forward in a significant way. And I loved how the movie also managed to subvert expectations by not having the key to escaping be some act of selflessness or any other lesson that needed to be learned. It was just a freak thing that happened and required a solution based in real-world science. What I really loved were the dual perspectives from both characters, switching back and forth between the two of them when they weren't together. One was perfectly happy with the infinite break from the real world, except for the occasional hiccup, no matter how monotonous it became, and the other absolutely hated it, eventually dedicating their time entirely to finding a way out. One was living in the present moment, content to literally forget their past, while the other was haunted by it, forced to relive their worst mistake. And this plot wasn't anything new or original, with some even calling it a ripoff of other time loop movies. But I think this movie really stands out simply by taking the execution to another level. The script by Siara was fantastic. It was funny throughout with some really serious scenes scattered in to keep everything interesting and intriguing. It felt very well paced and cohesive, with everything having a place in the final cut of the film, from large scenes to small background characters. And the few plot twists hit hard enough to change the course and feel of the movie every time. But the best part by far was the delivery and performance by all of the actors involved. I think this is one of my favorite roles I've seen Andy Samberg play. If you're a fan of his work, you'll recognize some of his comedic stylings, but it was unique enough to fall just outside of his normal brand of comedy. He's not playing a funny role, just a character in a funny situation. It's lighthearted without being over the top. But the real comedic gold was the duo of Andy Samberg and Cristin Milioti. I'm actually surprised I haven't really noticed her before, even though she's got a pretty impressive resume in television. And I might even have to go back and watch more of her work because she's just fantastic in this movie. Her acting was amazing, her timing on point, and her delivery was even better than Andy's.
That was a grammatical nightmare.
And with so much of the storyline and plot twist revolving around her character, I'd argue that she's actually the main character in this movie. We know that Niles has been through the loop countless times before, but we, the audience, are only brought into the story once Siara begins to contribute to his time there. And the only real character growth we see out of Miles is sparked by and for her. Cristin delivers an incredible performance and really carries this movie. J.K. Simmons is hilarious in his rage against Niles, and I like how he has a totally valid reason for it in the story. It was also an interesting decision for him to be the one that gives the sage advice and finally changes Niles' perspective. He could have just as easily been the utterly ridiculous character just for the sake of having one in the movie, but he was fully thought out, genuine in his attitudes and actions in this story. J.K. Simmons may have only been a background character in this movie, but when he came on screen, he really proved why he's an Oscar winner. You can tell that a lot of time was spent on the themes and characters of this story. In what could have easily been an over-the-top joke fest, this movie was kept grounded by focusing on the human elements in it. And that's a testament to the talent of the writer, director, cinematographer, and everyone else involved in the making of this film. This has definitely been one of my favorite movies to come out during the summer, if not the year so far. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Palm Springs in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a great day, and don't forget to watch a great movie. Bye.
You don't like me.
I don't like you. But I don't think we should break up.
What?
People don't break up with me. This is so fucked up.